Let's start with the that's risky stuff and slowly crank it up until we hit why would humans do this territory. Number 5. Kasu Marzu. Translated from Sardinian, Kasu Marzu literally means rotten cheese. And yes, this one proudly wears the crown as the most dangerous cheese on Earth. This infamous delicacy comes from the Italian island of Sardinia and starts out innocent enough. Good old sheep's milk, turned into a wheel of pecorino cheese. But then things take a turn. The cheese is deliberately left out for cheese flies to move in and do their thing. They lay eggs inside the wheel, and within days, those eggs hatch into larvae. By about day 40, the cheese isn't just aged, it's alive. For the next 2 to 3 months, thousands of maggots feast on the cheese, breaking it down and, brace yourself, digesting and returning it as the very thing that gives Kasu Marzu its famous flavor and creamy texture. Horrifying? Yes. Effective? Apparently also yes. Despite being illegal to sell, demand for Kasu Marzu is so high that a massive underground market thrives, pulling in an estimated 2.5 million pounds of cheese and roughly $3 million a year. Guns? Drugs? Stolen organs? Nope. Sardinia said cheese. When it's finally time to eat, the maggots are not removed. That means every bite comes with a dozen tiny, wiggling companions. Health experts warn that in rare cases, the larvae can survive stomach acid and infest the intestines, a condition called pseudomyosis. Basically, the cheese eats you back. Uno reverse card activated. Would I try it? Honestly, probably not. Okay, maybe one bite. Number 4. Larb. Now let's head over to South Asia, where we meet larb, a dish so popular it's the national dish of Laos. On the surface, it looks harmless. Fresh greens, herbs, spices, sticky rice, and your choice of meat. Vacation vibes. I'd order this without thinking twice. But here's the twist. That meat is often raw. And while it's delicious when prepared safely, improperly handled raw meat can turn this beloved salad into a serious health risk, making something that looks fresh and flavorful potentially deadly. History has taught us one thing very clearly. Humans will eat anything if it tastes good enough, and we're just getting started. There are many types of meat used in this dish, but the most common choices include beef, chicken, duck, fish, and pork. And here's where things get dangerous. Eating larb uncooked dramatically increases the risk of contracting some seriously nasty and potentially fatal diseases. We're talking trichinosis, deadly bacterial infections, rabies, and streptococcus, a highly dangerous bacteria commonly found in pigs. Then there's the Southeast Asian liver fluke, a parasitic flatworm found in raw fish. Once consumed, this little nightmare can live inside the human liver for years. So, congratulations, you'll never truly be alone again. This isn't just theoretical danger either. There have been real, tragic cases linked directly to this dish. In 2019 in Thailand, 265 people were infected with streptococcus after eating larb. 23 of them didn't survive. Suddenly, that authentic local dish doesn't sound so fun. Number 3. Sanak-i, South Korea. Now we're entering food or boss fight territory. Sanak-i can be eaten in a few different ways, so let's start with the least deadly version. The most common form involves a long-armed octopus that's killed moments before serving. Its body and legs are chopped into pieces, drizzled with sesame oil, and placed on your plate, still moving. As you eat, the octopus's suckers can latch onto your tongue and throat, making swallowing complicated. Dangerous? Yes. Would I still be obligated to eat it to prove a point? Also, yes. I've talked way too much trash watching people struggle through food challenges online to back out now. Just plug your nose and power through it. Chase it with water. Why is he taking so long? Yeah, I have a lot to prove. Now, the second method, that's not a meal. That's a 1v1 fight. Here, the octopus arrives fully intact and alive. It's wrapped tightly around a chopstick, dipped in sesame oil, and shoved directly into your mouth. The oil isn't for flavor. It's basically cheating, acting as lubricant to give the human a fighting chance. The moment it starts, the octopus fights back, squirming, grabbing, suctioning onto anything it can. Your only job? Chew. Your hands start sweating, your heart starts racing, panic sets in. You begin to wonder if this was a terrible life decision. But everyone at the table is staring. The pressure builds. You tell yourself, it's now or never. Multiple deaths in recent years have been directly linked to eating live octopus, and yet people still seek it out, some claiming it boosts endurance, others just chasing the bragging rights and the viral post. Number 2, fugu. Now we're talking about one of the deadliest foods on Earth, a dish where one tiny mistake means death. Fugu is a Japanese delicacy made from poisonous pufferfish, first popularized in the early 20th century. Over time, its reputation spread beyond Japan to places like China and South Korea. The fish contains tetrodotoxin, a poison so strong that there's no antidote. The only reason this dish exists at all is because trained chefs carefully remove the poisonous organs. And when I say trained, I mean years of training. In Japan, a chef must undergo up to 3 years of intense preparation, followed by multiple exams, including written tests and fish identification, before they're legally allowed to serve fugu. Because when your dinner can kill you, close enough just isn't good enough. And we're not even at number 1 yet. That training doesn't end with textbooks either. Aspiring fugu chefs must pass a brutal practical exam, which includes preparing the dish perfectly under pressure. The test is so difficult that only about 35% of applicants pass and earn a license, and there's a very good reason for that. Pufferfish contain tetrodotoxin, one of the deadliest poisons known to science. Just one fish carries enough toxin to kill up to 30 adult humans. Here's the truly terrifying part. If someone accidentally consumes even a tiny amount of the poison, there's no antidote. Treatment basically comes down to prayers, supportive care, and hoping your body survives. The toxin works fast. Muscles slowly become paralyzed, your body shuts down, and eventually you may stop breathing altogether. And somewhere during that process, there's a very real chance you think, wow, I should have just ordered the chicken dumplings. The deadliest year on record was 1958, when 176 people died from fugu alone. In 2004, fish vendors in Thailand dyed pufferfish meat red and sold it as salmon for nearly 3 years. The result? 115 people hospitalized and 15 deaths before the truth came out. Number 1, wild and exotic wet markets. This had to take the top spot because, unlike everything else on this list, one bad meal here doesn't just risk one life, it can risk the entire planet. Now, I know what you're thinking. What food could possibly be worth putting humanity on hard mode? Brownies? Sure, totally understandable. But snakes, turtles, dogs, cats, bats, porcupines, raccoons, and honestly, somebody's nephew, yeah, no, not worth it. Every few years, without fail, the world gets shaken by a terrifying outbreak, and almost every time, the trail leads back to one of these markets. Take SARS in 2002, widely believed by epidemiologists to have originated from a wet market in Guangdong, China. Then Ebola in 2014, traced back to a child whose family regularly hunted and consumed bats. Not technically a wet market, but close enough to make everyone deeply uncomfortable. And of course, the most recent pandemic, widely believed to have originated from a bat at the Wuhan wet market. These are just the headline events. Many other dangerous diseases have been detected in wild and exotic wet markets over the years. So why are these places so risky? Simple. Cross-contamination. Sanitation isn't often the top priority. Wild animals are kept in close quarters, bodily fluids mix freely, and the hot, humid conditions create the perfect environment for bacteria, viruses, and parasites to thrive. When you combine stressed animals, unsanitary conditions, and constant human contact, you don't just get dinner, you get a biological lottery ticket. And the prize is something no one wants to win. And that's what makes these markets the most dangerous food source in history. Not just deadly to individuals, but potentially catastrophic for everyone. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next video.